This morning, we're going to give you some infrastructure as code so you can put it on your resume, and we're actually going to deploy it into our Amazon account. There's some key terms and subtle things I want you to pay attention to, although this is going to be extremely basic and simple. I'm in a temporary directory, just empty directory here, nothing in there. We're going to go ahead and create a YAML file, so we'll just do touch and create PhotoBucket.yaml. YAML stands for something like, I think it stands for YAML ain't markdown language, but I like to call it yet another markdown language. Either way, it's just fun to know. No other reason. You can also use JSON files, but YAML is more human readable. So let's go ahead and go in there and we'll actually edit this YAML file. Ignore the auto-generated stuff that VS Code might give you. We're going to do the bare minimum for this stack. And we have to know the terminology. We have a template, we have a stack, we have logical ID, we have physical resources. All of these do matter, so pay attention as I create this. We're going to go ahead and start with a resource, and that's it. So resources, colon, and of course the autofill is ridiculous. We're just going to call it PhotoBucket, that's true. And the type will be AWS S3 bucket. And that's as far as we'll go. Let me just see if I can get rid of that autocomplete real quick. And then the rest we can get rid of. So just clear that out. And here's what we have. We have a YAML file. This is our template, our blueprint. And then we're going to ask it and say, I want in this blueprint to create a bucket, a building, have you. And we're going to call that building PhotoBucket. So the logical name is PhotoBucket. This is programming, the programming name. The logical name is PhotoBucket. But when Amazon gets this YAML file, when we deploy it, it's going to start building this out, this entire infrastructure. And in our infrastructure, we just have a bucket or a building, right? So when it creates that bucket, it's going to name it something that we don't know about. But programmatically, we're calling it PhotoBucket. So I'm going to show you that when we deploy it. So let's go ahead and save this, Command S. Let's go back to the terminal. And to deploy, all we're going to do is the deploy command, which is AWS, and it's CloudFormation deploy. CloudFormation deploy dash dash. And if you see the dash dash, that usually means it's a full spelled out parameter. If it's just plain dash with one dash, it's usually an abbreviated parameter, just an FYI. So first we're going to do the template. We're going to say, hey, we're going to be sending you a template file. And what is that file called? PhotoBucket.yaml. So CloudFormation deploy. And it's telling it a template file named PhotoBucket.yaml, which we just created. And then we're going to name what we deploy the stack. So the stack name is now called PhotoDemo. We can call it whatever we want. So our blueprint is PhotoBucket, a whole bunch of blueprints, create a bunch of buckets, buildings, roads, infrastructure, right? And once you do that, call that entire stack, that everything PhotoDemo. So call it a city, Greenville, South Carolina, right? So we have a blueprint, and then we're going to call that blueprint Greenville. But we can use that blueprint and create Charleston. We can use that blueprint and create Atlanta, et cetera, et cetera. So we can name the stack different things. That's just an FYI. Well, let's just do a count. There's 11 all-purpose buckets. We're going to go ahead and hit this enter button over here. It's going to do its thing. And what you have to do is you have to wait for the completion on the left-hand side here. And it's giving you some information here. Imagine you have dozens and dozens of S3 buckets, EC2 instances, load balances, all kinds of things in your blueprint. It's going to go ahead and create all of those. So the repeatability is fantastic with these. Also, the fact that you can use version control, you can send this code to GitHub. There's a lot of fantastic reasons for using infrastructure as code. Okay, the stack has been successfully created. And let's refresh our S3 bucket just to see if it created the bucket. So I went from 11 to 12. And now we don't know exactly what that bucket's called. Now we can find that out in a second, but just by visually looking at it, I can tell you that it is called Photo Demo PhotoBucket blah, 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 blah. And I know that because of the date, August 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? But in order to do that, you can also check it over here in the terminal and say, hey, list me all the resources in this stack. I want to, but I'm not going to show you that today. I want to show you that this S3 bucket has been created. There's nothing in it, but also a CloudFormation. So let's go in there, CloudFormation, and we called the stack Photo Demo. So this one's created same time, August 19th. So the Photo Demo stack was created. Now, let's go back to the S3 buckets. And what we're going to do is delete our Photo Demo PhotoBucket. Delete it. This is just for demonstration purposes. You should type all this out if you wish to. I'm living dangerously. Hit delete bucket. Gone. But when we go back to CloudFormation, you'll see that just because we deleted the S3 bucket doesn't mean that the Photo Demo stack hasn't been removed. It's called stack drift, and that's a major problem as you start making changes either through the command line, through SDKs, through the console, and it won't match up with the actual stack. So that's something we'll have to address later on. That being said, we can go ahead and remove this entire stack because we're going to start fresh in the next one. So delete this stack. And then you should be caught up with all of your cleanup work. That's it. Now you can put on your resume that you've created infrastructure as a code. Congratulations.